Welcome back, folks. So, for those of you who have kids or maybe really old people that you live with who have a tendency to fall over or decide to throw a tantrum and throw themselves backwards on the floor, a corner protector is a very, very handy thing just for that little bit of extra reassurance that you don't have to make those emergency trips to the emergency room and have somebody's head reconstructed with duct tape and stitches. Now, I looked around for quite a while and I found nothing that was under $100 that it was actually worth a damn for a corner protector. You could make better stuff out of cardboard if you want to go below $100, it seems. However, I remember these pool noodles. These are kind of neat. They're pretty thick. They're squishy. They're soft. So what you do is you get some of that. And you also get some PVC pipe, and this I believe is 3/4 inch standard schedule 40 PVC. This is like a couple of dollars for 10 feet at the hardware store. It's dirt cheap. These things for like 72 inches worth of this stuff, it's a pool noodle kids toy, is like $3 for one. So there's, let's say, $8, right? And you get yourself a Sharpie and you mark 45 degrees across the top here. So one line, and well, I guess 90 degrees. So one line and 90 degrees away from that, one other line. Go ahead and cut that out. That's what you're going to need your handy razor knife for. This stuff is great. You just set it on there wherever your line is and push down and keep going until you reach the other end. Cuts like butter. Even easier if the butter's frozen. Then you're going to take your PVC pipe, and where you had cut that, you would pop this into the opening in the middle. 3/4 inch PVC pipe just happened to fit this one just fine. And then you use your handy dandy marker. Doesn't have to be a permanent marker. I would recommend not a permanent marker, only because this stuff will rub off of that foam. Wow, it makes a mess on your clothes. Put your marks on your PVC pipe. Now, I'm sure everybody can come up with all kinds of fancy ways to cut that. This will not do it. That's how you lose a finger. However, I came up with this nifty board contraption. That's what I used for making my straight line across my foam. Rolled it 90 degrees, did the same thing. Then, after marking the PVC, I took and used my handy dandy drill and driver, and I drilled some holes in each end of the PVC, and then I put some screws in there to hold it to the board so it didn't walk around. This is the epitome of apartment workshop, let me tell you what. Then you take a saw. Doesn't have to be any particular brand, just needs to be a saw that's fairly sharp. This one's a multi-purpose fast cut saw, so it works pretty good for PVC. But after you get your boards or your PVC screwed down to the board, try to line up your line with the edge of that board. Takes forever, but it worked. And then unscrew it, flip it around, stick it back down, maybe tilt it a little bit, cut it again. Takes forever, but it works. Then when you're done with that, you take your desired length of PVC and foam that you've just cut the 45 degree or 90 degree sections out of, and you would assemble those. If we were actually making one of these at the moment, we would have a slot in the foam. This would just pop right over it, or pop right into it, and then you could mount that to the corner of the wall. Now, how do you go about mounting it to the corner of the wall? Well, you got this foam over this PVC. What the shit are you going to do? You're going to drive a screw through the whole thing and leave a screw head for your kid to smash their head on? I don't think so. So you get rid of that shit for right now. Then you drill some holes directly across from your gap. Now, the reason for that gap is so that it would sit nicely onto the corner of something without being all wibbly wobbly when you bolted it down or screwed it down. Then you drill those holes and use a larger bit than your screw. And the reason for that is so that you can pass the screw through the first layer, through the only layer of the PVC tubing without the threads binding. It makes it a lot easier. Now, if you've ever tried to drill a hole on a corner, you use a smaller drill bit for this next step, but if you've ever tried to drill a hole in a corner, you know it's a pain in the ass. The drill bit wants to walk all over the place and it never stays centered, and you get 38 freaking holes and you only need one. So you take a center punch and you hold that real careful, right on the corner of something. And then you get a hammer and you just tap-a-tap-a-roo until you get her in there. Get a nice divot going. Then you come back with your drill and very carefully, right on the end of that V, you just drill right into it. Make sure you don't have any electrical wires in there. Then you would take your PVC pipe, pre-cut, pre-drilled, and you would put some of these screws right into the hole in the corner you just drilled, and it would hold it to the corner. Now, if you drill the hole a little bit big, not quite as big as the head, but a little bit larger, and then maybe even countersink it if you want to get fancy, that sinks the head down just almost flush with the outside of the tube. Now, you don't want to tighten it too tight because you don't want the tube opening up all the way. You want it nice and snug on the corner, but not splayed out, right? Not like the prom queen. Now, after you get that mounted to the wall, you take yourself some double-sided tape and you stick it to the outside most edge, and then you come back and you put your foam on there and you press like a son of a gun to get the shit to stick, and you hold her on there tight for a minute and you massage her around to make sure the tape is nice and stuck to both surfaces. And yes, it will help to clean both surfaces with some rubbing alcohol before you apply the tape, and that gives you a corner protector. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. Less than $8, maybe 10 if you count the screws, but it is extremely effective. You have approximately 3/4 of an inch of foam, plus you have this plastic panel inside there that provides even more rigid protection from the sharp corner that would otherwise cave your skull in. Or you just smash them in the head with a hammer. Oh wait, that's not what we're trying to do. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll get some pictures rolled in at the beginning or the end of the video so you can see the final product, and it works wonders, and the kid doesn't even realize it's there until she smashes into it, and then she goes, oh hey, good thing that foam was there or I would have broke my face. Tune in next time.